Here's something that's going to make the alpha bro corner of the internet break out in a cold sweat. Women don't fall in love with your bench press, bruh. They don't stay because you bought a depreciating German sedan with a high interest loan. And they sure as hell don't commit because you were nice enough to buy a lavender latte while she told you about the guy she actually wants to sleep with. Women fall for emotional intelligence. But wait, don't roll your eyes just yet. I'm not talking about that soft Instagram therapy. Let's journal about our feelings nonsense. I'm talking about the man whose nervous system doesn't freak out when life gets real. The man who doesn't collapse when emotions show up. The man who doesn't outsource his self-worth to whether she texted back fast enough. Ethical masculinity is just emotional intelligence with a backbone and a leather jacket, baby. And today, I'm breaking down why emotionally intelligent men act like a drug to a woman's nervous system, baby. Why eminent femininity naturally opens up to them without force or manipulation, and how to build this skill without becoming an approval seeking emotional support animal. You are not their labubu. Trust me, this will get you more dates, but more importantly, it'll get you the right woman. Let's dive in, baby. First off, let's scrub the therapy speak off the term. In the real world, emotional intelligence is simple, but not easy. It's about knowing your stuff, controlling your stuff, reading her stuff, and handling the room without losing yourself. High EQ men feel the fire, but they don't let the house burn down. And that's the difference, baby. That's the Midas challenge, man. Low EQ men, they are reactors. Every little thing triggers them into action, explanation, reassurance, or defense. High EQ men, we're actors, baby. They choose responses deliberately. And here's the part that most men miss. Attraction isn't logical. I mean, it's nervous system based. It's nervous system based, boys. Look, the reactor versus the actor, all right? Reactors live in their amygdala. Fight, flight, explain, appease, whatever. Their cortisol leaks into every freaking interaction. When she pulls back, they lean forward. When she's uncertain, they panic. Actors, we operate from the prefrontal cortex, baby. We feel emotion fully, but we choose behavior selectively. One man reacts to stress by grasping. The other, they respond by grounding. Women feel this different instantly, boys, right? It's the difference between men and boys. And why is that, right? Why are women selecting men that show this, sort of emotional maturity, if you will, right? It's because there is an emotional leprosy of reinsurance, right? Constantly asking, are we okay? Or did I do something wrong? This is not emotional intelligence. It's emotional outsourcing, right? If she's always coming up to you asking if everything's okay, right? It gets tedious, man. So don't do it back to her. Look, guys, psychologically, it signals low internal resources, my dudes. All right. Her nervous system, what it hears, if something goes wrong, this man becomes my responsibility. Guys, her libido, her sex drive, it will not survive that message. I mean, that's going to dry her up as fast as a piece of toast in a dehumidifier. It's also inauthentic, guys. Women are biologically wired for emotional attunement, baby. Mirror neurons, right? Limbic resonance. micro expression tracking. I mean, she's picking all this stuff up in a split second. Her body is wired for this stuff, right? Her, her hypergamic forces, evolution has built her to seek out a man who has strength, depth, emotional clarity, not someone who is constantly needing reassurance and validation from her. She doesn't want to be your mommy, guys. Look, she can detect when confidence is being performed instead of embodied. That's just the bottom line. Women instinctively know if you are in the middle of a script for your masculinity, right? And let's be honest, scripted masculinity, it collapses under pressure because it's not real. Embodied masculinity, the real stuff, what it actually means, it holds firm, baby. And we're here to teach you ethical masculinity. It holds firm. Now, a woman's attraction system is basically a biological radar for regulation, right? As we just talked about. I mean, her brain, especially the amygdala, that part of the brain that's constantly looking for threats and things like that, fearful faces, aggression, things like this. It is constantly, scanning, right? She meets you, and her amygdala is like, is this man stable? Can I drop my guard? If the world catches fire, does he become another victim or the solution? This isn't romance, guys. And that's what I've been trying to teach you all along. Women are based in survival psychology. They need to know they are safe. Survival psychology, boys. This doesn't mean you have to be a weak guy who's always doing everything for them. That is not strength. That is not strength. When you're regulated, you literally lower her cortisol levels. It's natural. It is a natural thing. It's almost like her biology can sniff out your stress. And if it's high, hers goes up. And if it's low, she can then relax into her femininity, baby. And that's what we want. When your voice is calm, when it's steady, right? When you maintain eye contact, unhurried movements. You're not running to get in the room. You're taking your time. You're scanning the environment. These signal safety at a very deep, primal, biological level. And let's be clear, guys, safety isn't boring. Safety is the prerequisite to surrender. You don't have to overpower her emotions. You provide the vessel for them. And this is where the red pill dorks get it wrong, right? The manosphere says you have to dominate her. You have to show her who's boss. You got to treat her like a piece of crap so she'll follow you around like a little puppy dog looking for validation. Daddy, please, can I have another biscuit? Just don't punch any holes in the wall, Daddy. Are you freaking kidding me? That is low value women. We don't want that. We don't want that. In the manosphere, you're wrong. Women want safety, and safety can be excited. They want to be able to become vulnerable with you. Let them. There's this thing called the high vagal tone. And the high vagal tone in men correlates with emotional stability, slower heart rate recovery, calm presence under stress. When a man's parasympathetic nervous system is dominant, a woman's nervous system mirrors it. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system is basically just your calming system, right? Whereas the sympathetic nervous system is all about, fight, flight, or freeze. The parasympathetic kind of, it recharges the batteries, if you will. And if you're living in the parasympathetic nervous system, she can calm down and she can relax too. Desire does not emerge from chaos, boys. It does not emerge from chaos. It emerges when her system shifts from defense to openness. You want her opening up to you in every way possible, baby. Come on now. Emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, physically. Now, what about the raised voice? If you're talking like this, if you're talking really fast, guys, raised voices, rushed speech, emotional pressure spike cortisol, calm leadership, decisive planning, grounded affection. It increases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Attraction is all chemistry, baby. But chemistry is regulated by behavior, not intention. There's also the vessel theory, glass versus splash. Low EQ men are like puddles. Emotion splashes everywhere, uncontrolled. High EQ men, they're like glass containers, baby. Emotion can move freely, but safely. Feminine emotional flow requires masculine structure to feel secure. And that is the entire game. Women don't test men to be cruel boys. I have talked about this forever, right? You are basically auditioning to see if you can hold your ground. I mean, guys, she's testing you to see if you have any substance, honestly. And so many guys just fail this test immediately. They over text, they double text. They freak out if she hasn't called for like 10 minutes. Right? If you're left on red for 20 minutes, you're about to have an emotional breakdown. You're like little boys looking for mommy's attention. Are we okay, mommy? What? Grow up, boys. It is time to become emotionally stable, emotionally intelligent, ethically masculine, and hot as hell, baby. Look, when she pulls back, when she gets cold, when she becomes emotionally turbulent, she is subconsciously asking one single question. And that question, does this man's identity depend on my mood? Low EQ men, they panic. Are we okay? Did I do something? Please don't leave me, baby. You're the love of my life. Which kills the libido faster than a cold shower. I mean, you might as well be showing her pictures of like baby deer getting murdered. Right? It is not a way to attract her unless she's a psychopath, right? Look, boys, the ethically masculine man stays warm. He stays present. He stays self-directed. He is a man on a mission, baby, and he's there for her. Look, the ability to remain emotionally steady, regardless of her internal weather, it's one of the strongest attraction signals out there, right? Warmth without dependency, that is power. That is powerful as hell, boys. Warmth without dependency. Again, this is where the red pill boys get it wrong, right? All the incel dorks on the internet, the loser crew, right? The one that wants to treat women bad and play the dread game. Oh my God, these guys are weak. They think that warmth means that you are weak. Warmth means she can relax into your arms, right? She wants you to be the best version of yourself when she's around, emotionally stable, calm. She wants to feel safe with you, but she wants the rest of the world to fear the hell out of you. And that's the game. That's where the red pill boys get it wrong, right? They got it backwards. They're being mean to her and they're playing weak little boy to society. I mean, look, it's all a performance, right? They're puffing up their chest, walking around. Look at me, I go to the gym every day. Who cares? Nice guys mirror her chaos, right? That's another problem. This is why the nice guys fail the stress test. They mirror her chaos. They don't need to be jerks. They're doing it the opposite, right? They're over validating. They're over explaining. They're over investing. They're buying her gifts on day 3. You don't buy a woman a gift until you guys are in an exclusive relationship. Instead of grounding the interaction, they basically just amplify the instability. That's what they're doing. They're being nice, but nice is not what she wants. She wants safety. A woman cannot relax into eminent femininity until she knows your center won't collapse. And when I say that she can't relax into you until she knows you won't collapse, right? It's because her softness depends on your solidity, right? Your stability. She needs to know that she has a secure base, and that's you. Now, fire starters, look, I'm going to give you some drills here because tactics matter. They do. Theory without execution is just mental masturbation, if you will, right? If you want impact, you're going to need the drills. You are going to need the drills. Okay. Number one, we've got what I call the 3-second lizard brain buffer. All right. Pause, breathe, choose. This interrupts amygdala hijacking and it restores prefrontal control. Just a few seconds. Pause, breathe, make your choice. There's also the mission over mood pivot. Mission over mood. When the energy shifts, you don't negotiate. You return to your purpose. Attraction follows direction. If you're leading her toward your mission, she's going to follow. Number three, vulnerability without dumping. Look, say I'm frustrated, but I've got it handled. Don't say, let me emotionally unload and hope you stabilize me. You get the point, right? She's not there to be your therapist. You can always do the sovereign exit, right? This is another fire starter tool, walking away calmly from disrespect. Guys, it proves your worth without argument. Nothing is more attractive than self respect without the anger, guys. You don't need to be mad. If she disrespects you, you stay calm and you leave, right? If she wants to come back and say she's sorry, great. Women don't remember your words, boys. They don't. They remember how regulated they felt around you. Speak slower. Take up space. In the date first sometimes. Be the static so she can safely be the dynamic. Attraction doesn't need convincing, boys. It needs containment. Look, there's temporal control, right? That speaking slowly. You speak 10% slower, right? What this does, and psychologists have shown that this signals confidence and authority, but mostly it shows emotional control. That's what is sort of being put out there to the woman, right? That you are controlled and that you have some authority. You lead and she can follow you then. Now, again, she might not be attracted to you at this point, but she at least knows that there's a possibility she could be because she could feel safe with you. Now, what about that static versus dynamic polarity, right? What was I talking about there? Well, masculine, what does masculine mean? It means structure, it means direction, and it means steadiness, right? The feminine, it means movement, emotion, expression. This polarity, it fuels desire. If you're running around with a lot of emotional leakage, you're always just like asking if we're okay, etc. You seem unkempt psychologically. It's a scarcity broadcast, right? Leave first. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's a signal. It's a signal, baby. And what it shows is that you have purpose. You have direction. You're not a simp. You're not a little mama's boy. Come and help me tuck me in, baby. Ethical masculinity and eminent femininity aren't trends. Boys, I developed these concepts for you. They're ancient patterns confirmed by neuroscience. And that's why I used the self-determination theory to build my theory on these two types of beautiful archetypes. The ethically masculine man, the eminently feminine woman. It's beautiful. And what's really beautiful is how well they mesh together, right? Our world, in 2026 here, we are moving towards more intentional dating. Women are tired of hookup culture. God, men are tired of the constant swiping only to get ghosted or to meet someone who doesn't look like their picture, right? Someone who wants to get married immediately, even though on their profile they put not sure. I mean, guys, we are moving into a much more intentional dating scene. You have to have the type of archetype that a woman is going to want. And that is going to be ethical masculinity. I'm here to tell you right now, boys, mark it down. This concept is going to change dating, at least in 2026. I think beyond, because people are tired of the games. They are tired of the F boys. They're tired. Everyone's just tired. They're tired of working on something for months only to have it fall apart because you're weak. Look, when you master your emotions, you master the room. If you're ready to stop the gimmicks, right? If you're ready to start becoming undeniable, then get my manuals at www.plantthespark.com. If nothing else, boys, sign up for the mailing list, right? Become a member of my site. I put out a newsletter every other week with a lot of free materials based on dating and attraction psychology. So if nothing else, come over to my site, go ahead and sign up for the email list. Go to my channel if you're not here already and subscribe if you haven't. Share this with a brother who's currently triple texting a woman who doesn't even care. She's off with Chad. Come on now. Tell him to calm the heck down, my dudes. I'm Mike. This is Plant the Spark. Let's get real, boys. Let's get it going. It's 2026. Let's make our dating lives great.